don't know what it takes. So you wanna be great, but do you really know what it stakes?
What up, you beautiful sons of bitches around the world? Your eyes do not deceive you. Yes, indeed, it is yet another episode of The Hidden Cage. My name is Tristan Thornhill. To my immediate virtual right is the one, the only, Jack Glennon, and we have a guest. You know him, you love him, former Tennessee baseball player, former coach, former MLB player, Duncan Pence. Duncan, it's been way too damn long since I've been able to say your name in front of these beautiful people. How the hell are you, man?
Agreed, and I'm doing well. I'm excited to be back on and get back on here and talk with you two gents.
Jack, it's been a stressful week.
Man. You know, I gotta say, it's been interesting, and I was kind of anticipating not so happy an attitude from you after the Yankees get bounced and saying,
what are you talking? I don't have to be stressed anymore. I could not be more happy that they got fucking bounced. They deserved it. They deserved. Do you see?
We can agree on.
Do you see how bad the Toronto Blue Jays look? They let that team walk all over them. You don't deserve to be there. I said after they lost that game in Miami that they had that, 12? They had like 3 different leads, and they had like a 9-3
You're
lead at
wrong,
one point.
partner.
As soon as they lost that game, I said on Twitter, you can go look at the logs. Duncan tracks my Twitter. I said on Twitter out loud, this team is an ALDS exit at best.
You say a lot of shit on Twitter. Let me tell you right now. Look, we've said the whole year, Tristan, it's about who's hot at the end. And the Toronto Blue Jays were hot at the end. That's what matters. That's what it came down to. I thought the Yankees would have some momentum beating the Red Sox. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think the Yankees played horribly. I don't think it's even the bullpen that let them down. It was the starting pitching.
Both of us at one point definitely said whoever wins that series is going to the World Series. And by the way, my bracket's fucking busted. My World Series prediction's right out the fucking door. Duncan, I mean,
that's par for the course.
I mean, where were you when you saw that all-time collapse? I mean, they were dead in Toronto.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Where were you when you saw the Yankees? When Vladdy hit the grand slam in Game 2, I called series.
Well, unfortunately, I was in my bedroom and I had the TV off at that point. I wasn't going to be wasting my time watching Will Warren try to come in and get out of jams. I knew what was going to happen. I've seen this movie a million times, so yeah, my TV was off at that point.
And no one can blame him. I mean, I think you definitely got some answers this offseason if you're a Yankees fan, but you're left with yet again more questions than answers. Who do you bring back? Who do you target? What's the bullpen going to look like? What's the infield going to look like? Can you re-sign Cody Bellinger? Is Aaron Judge going to regret the fact that he re-signed with the Yankees rather than go out west? Now, I don't know if that last one is going to be anywhere near his mind, but let's be brutally fucking honest. As a resident Yankee fan, you see the hat. Duncan is also one too. I think he'll agree with me. We are wasting Aaron Judge's talent.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, and it really. This year, I do think that they were a little bit more well-rounded than they were last year. Obviously, losing Juan Soto and especially what he did in the postseason is kind of a big blow. But it's kind of hard for me to deal with this year because I think they were overall a better team. But for some reason, we saw Toronto just absolutely turn up the heat for that series. I mean, it seems like they had our number pretty much all year, but – they definitely turned it up for that series and then just kind of fell off seemingly so far with the Mariners.
I mean,
they got beat pretty bad last night.
You could argue it's part of the fact that it was a hatred series. It was hatred that was fueling the Blue Jays. They saw the Yankees come back into their rearview mirror at the very end of the season, and they slammed the door shut. Trey Savage looked like a fucking monster against the Yankees. And guess what? He imploded in the first inning against the Mariners.
He got pieced up.
Mariners are a very, very talented team. But again, if you rewind 3-4 weeks ago when we recorded the episode going into the wild card, I told you no shot the Mariners are going to be the team that's going to the World Series this year.
Look, here's what I'll say. as the one resident non-Yankees fan in this chat right now, I view this series completely objectively. And you know what, partner? I was wrong. I thought the Yankees were going to walk away with, maybe a gentleman's sweep, 3-1, despite the fact that they're playing on the road. It's Toronto, New York City, not too far. But you warned me. You said that Toronto's got a whole country behind them, and you were right. The Blue Jays fans showed out. But I think the biggest issue for the Yankees in this series, they missed Garrett Cole. And it showed. The pitching was not there for the Yankees. The offense, I thought, was okay at best. But the offense was just put in positions where they're down 5 or 6 runs early. And anyone who's trying to blame Aaron Judge for this needs to get their freaking head checked because Aaron Judge was fantastic.
This is the last person to blame. That's what my thing is. That's why I brought up that great point. It's an awesome segue from you, Jack. They are wasting Aaron Judge's potential. There's always, let's see. Hold on, let me put on my New York accent for you. Let's see him do it in the fucking postseason. He doesn't do it in October. He doesn't do it when it matters. He did it, and he showed up in a big fucking way. Duncan, I'll be completely straight up and honest with you. This is. I speak my fucking mind on this app. I mean, I don't give a shit. I was erect when I saw Aaron Judge bang that ball off the fucking foul pole. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, amazing.
And none of that matters anymore.
Yeah. I heard, I think it was Joel Sherman talking about it. It's kind of unfortunate that the one postseason so far that Aaron Judge really shows up. I mean, I know he was hitting singles, but he had a massive home run, was close to hitting a second. It really showed up this postseason, and it'll be washed away because they just got absolutely dominated by the Blue Jays.
Yeah. And now you look at the Blue Jays now facing an 0-2 hole against the Mariners as they head back to Seattle. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to start with Jack here. What do you guys think needs to change for the Blue Jays in order for them to sniff any kind of comeback?
Well, first of all, I do want to say, and I'm digressing. This is way off topic, but since the last time we talked to Duncan, he has since his wife and him have had a kid. So Duncan, congratulations!
How dare I not say that? My bad.
Congratulations on behalf of the greatest podcast ever. Where Tristan Thornhill? Where what?
Oh, wow, you're doing this? Okay, all right, yeah. You know what? I'll do it. Nah, it doesn't feel right. You do it, Jack. It doesn't feel right. You do it.
Well, congrats on the kid from the Hidden Cage podcast, where we're loved by all, listened to by a few, and sponsored by absolutely none. But look, the Blue Jays, for me, it's very surprising. I can't understand how the Mariners got by the Tigers. I know a lot of people say, the Mariners have so much power. They got so much pop in that middle of the lineup. Naylor, Suarez, Raleigh, Rodriguez, Victor Robles, Arozarena, all these big name guys who have so much power and just so much ability to get the ball over the fence. But usually what you've seen in the playoffs historically is that teams like that, you think of the 2014 Kansas City Royals, you think of the Dodgers teams with a lot of home run strikeout guys, usually in the postseason strike out because that's when the other teams are able to put their best pitchers on the mound. I was very disappointed in the Tigers pitching. They didn't put up as much of a fight as I thought they would. They kind of went out with a squeal. And, I think the Mariners are a good pick to beat the Blue Jays here in this ALCS, pardon me.
Well, 15 teams. There's only 15 teams that have overcome this kind of deficit. And one that comes to mind is the 0-4 Red Sox, which makes me want to kill myself.
Because you also, Tristan, look, you also have a guy who was in single-A rookie ball, Trey Yesavage, starting game 2 of the ALCS against the Mariners lineup with those guys I just mentioned. They don't stand a chance. They don't.
I mean, when I saw the Mariners, and we'll get to this separately because this game should be talked in a 10-minute window all to itself. When I flipped on that Tigers Mariners game in the 9th inning and watched from then on, I was like, well, the Mariners are dead, but kudos to them for making it to the ALCS for the first time since 2001, And then they came out and beat the Blue Jays in Toronto. You know how insane that is? But I looking into this game, if I'm not mistaken, they play Wednesday.
You'd be correct.
I just don't know how the Blue Jays can snag one in Seattle. Seattle is hungry. You know,
if the Mariners lineup did what they did to Detroit's pitching, imagine what the hell they're going to continue to do to Toronto's pitching. That's the bottom line. It really is.
Scherzer was added to the roster, and he's going to be going for Game 4.
Yeah, 58 years old.
Yeah. It'll be George Kirby up against Shane Bieber, who they went and got at the trade deadline. Duncan, who do you like in Game 3?
I mean, I'll roll with the Mariners, and I think whoever said they're hungry hit the nail on the head. I promise I'm not going to just talk about the Yankees, but it's what I know. I read an article that was saying that they've lost the hunger, and I agree with that. I think that the team that's going to win this ALCS and NLCS, well, maybe not the NLCS, but the ALCS will be won by the hungriest team. And I don't think you can be any hungrier than starving because they've literally never been to a World Series. So yeah, I'll take Mariners in Game 3, and I'll take Mariners to take the series.
I don't hate that pick.
But Tristan, the most important question, Tristan, is who do you got for Game 3?
Oh, I got the Blue Jays. I just I don't see Shane Bieber going out there and dropping a dud.
Tristan saving the graphic.
They brought him in here for a freaking reason, and it's to stop the bleeding. He's capable of doing this kind of stuff. Yes, his ERA is at a 6. Do I think that's a tad inflated? Yes. This is the playoffs. We have seen Shane Bieber in the playoffs, and we've seen what he can do. Now, it depends on what kind of version of Shane Bieber we're going to get. Can he locate his fastball? Is his fastball going to play down, or is it going to play up? Can you get those key outs? Can you get the J-Rods? Can you keep Cal Riley in the stadium? Can you keep the pesky Jorge Polanco, who's having a fantastic fucking series, all over the ballpark, and sent them to the ALCS? Can you keep him in the dugout? And can your defense pick you up? The defense has been phenomenal for Toronto, especially through that ALCS. You look at Vladdy. Vladdy was on fire with the bat in the ALCS against the Yankees because, again, this meant something different to him. But look at the defensive plays he was making. So What version of Shane Bieber are we going to get? I think it's going to be a rock-solid start from Shane Bieber. He's going up against George Kirby, who's got great numbers. He's pitched well so far in the postseason. I think 14 Ks, and he's allowed 9 hits. The thing is, he pitches to contact. We've only seen Shane Bieber for 2 2/3 innings so far in this postseason. So how is Shane Bieber going to come out and dominate the lineup? Who you don't have to look any farther than through the second time. The second time through is going to tell you all you need to know. The first time through, obviously, you feel him out. Duncan knows all well what you do when you're in your approaches. He was a big-time hitter. I mean, he actually was there. He actually got to play in college. He's actually taken good at-bats. Me and Jack probably freeze every single fucking pitch. But, I mean, it's about having – I mean, you and I have talked about this, Duncan. We actually mentioned it in an episode earlier this year. It's the aura when you step in the plate. This is really funny. Can Shane Bieber out-aura farm this Blue Jays lineup? That's a little flag. And you know what? I think the white boy's got it, bro. I think he goes there and fucking shoves.
So I've got a matchup question for you here. On the other side of the rubber there, I guess, George Kirby. Let me think. I think I'll just pull it up here. His walk percentage. He's in the 89th percentile of walk percentage, so 5.5 walk percent, versus a team that's kind of known for putting the ball in play, battling, working counts, doesn't strike out a lot. How does that work? I mean, which part of the balance beam there, or seesaw, I guess, wins, and who can outlast the other?
Well, that's another part about it is that Blue Jays lineup is. It's full. I mean, they got Bo Bichette back, right? They have Bo Bichette, and I mean, that's a perfect start. You know, he's batting what, 311 in the postseason since he's come back. I think you have just got to have a meeting at, on the plane, wherever it is. If you're Vladdy, if you're anybody in that Blue Jays lineup, like, hey, let us not forget who we are. We can be just as hungry as them. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think that the Seattle Mariners probably take this in a gentleman's sweep. They've got 3 in a row in Seattle. But I like the Blue Jays to say, oh, wait, we are not dead. Don't start taking this as such. So back to your original question of the George Kirby balance beam situation. When I look at a team, when I look at a pitcher that can be wild, you think of like Luis Gil when he was going up against the Blue Jays. He only had 2 innings. And that's for a reason, because they're scared of what is going to happen when it's Luis Gil. I look at his pitch count. You look at the depth in that Mariner bullpen. Right now, it's taxed. I mean, I know they get a day off, but it's taxed, and it's only a matter of time before this talented Blue Jays lineup can pounce on it. You've got to hit a reset button if you're the Blue Jays. Work counts, like you said, Duncan. Lay off those first pitches. I mean, we were looking at the Yankees. They were swinging at garbage. I mean, look at the swing Aaron Judge had on that 3-2 count in Game 1 of the ALDS. Garbage swing. Yes, he had a great postseason, but there were some bad swings. You think of Austin Wells in the bottom of the 8th of that ALDS. First pitch swinging after the Blue Jays bullpen is going out there and walking people on. First pitch swinging after 2 consecutive walks. Take your pitches. And if anybody can take pitches, I know it's this Blue Jays lineup. They're disciplined. Don't get me wrong. They're ready to swing. George Springer especially. But he's not going to give away an at-bat. And so that's why I tip towards the Blues.
I want to touch on George Springer because he's starting to look like his old self. He had a great season, hit 34 home runs, drove in 84 runs. But in the last week, he's got an on-base average of 444, and he's 8 for 23 at the plate with 2 home runs in the last 7 days. So this is a guy who's getting hot at the right time. And if the Blue Jays are going to win this series, it's going to have to come through their stars. That's the bottom line. They need Vladdy to continue to hit. They need George Springer. They need Bichette. Like you said, they're getting him back. So they need Bo Bichette to be a part of things. They need these guys to be more consistent and not only have individual performances, but the play discipline is so important because, look, if Vladdy's coming up there batting third with nobody on base, there's not much he can do by himself against, a Seattle lineup that's just mashing the ball so far in this series. So these guys in the top of the order need to get on base for the heavier hitters.
I'll preface this because I know we've been saying Bichette's name. I'm talking about the future because Bichette obviously was left off of the ALCS roster. I'm just talking when they get Bichette back, you need to be able to attack. You have.
I'm saying in the World Series, potentially if they get Bichette back, he needs to contribute. That's my point. He needs
to contribute, yes. And I don't think he has to contribute a bunch. I mean, like I said, he was batting .311 come up towards the beginning of the postseason. George Springer's been fucking phenomenal. He had a little bit of a dip off, to start this series. But I mean, isn't he like leading the league in leadoff home runs, if I'm not mistaken? So I don't look at people like Vladdy to show up at the bat. I'm looking at, Alejandro Kirk being, Alejandro Kirk. You don't think of Alejandro Kirk when you see him in the lineup as being a pesky bat, but he is. He can hit for power. And, I mean, he can hit to the corners. George Springer, we need to see more leadoff power, maybe doubles, not just home runs. It's being able to put pressure on George Kirby.
And that's what I need to do. And work these counts, even more importantly. Get these guys
Duncan said, he dips. What was the stat you gave me? You said he dips a lot into walking people, right?
Me? With Kirby?
Yes, with Kirby.
Yeah, his walk rate's super low. I remember, I think it's Jay Lasagna on Twitter. He always says when he's talking about George Kirby, # just say no to walks. And it's hilarious, but it's true. And honestly, it's why it's why everybody loves the Mariners pitching staff so well is because they're not like Luis Gil where, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to throw 118 million miles an hour, take it or leave it. They pitch, they move the ball around to the corners. I was just kind of interested to see how a team that doesn't strike out stacks up against someone who doesn't throw balls.
Yeah.
And you watch Duncan and situationally, they're so smart about how they pitch too. When there's runners on, they're able to keep it low in the zone. They don't hang their breaking balls. I think they've done a great job, but they just need they're going against the Dodgers in the World Series. It has to be literally perfect pitching.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I look at when I look at the Blue Jays lineup is they can be aggressive. They can be aggressive. I know that the Blue Jays can hit, what I want when you have a pitcher that does not walk people. See a pitch. You don't have to match him. See a pitch. Let him tire himself out. Let him see if he's got a fault in the game. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you're pressing. If it's a 1-1 count, look for that fastball up and away, lay off that slider down the way. Or be on the fastball middle in. You've got to be aggressive in the right spots. You have to be, especially with a guy that's going to fill up the zone. So they have a tough task in front of them, but it's the karma in me. I don't know how to properly say this. It's a hunch. The Blue Jays cannot go down 3-0 because then they might as well just wrap it up. So I know that they're going to come out and be like, this is who we are. They will be aggressive in some spots because they know George Kirby is going to throw strikes, and they hit the ball. But make sure you're hitting in the right spots. That's the only thing that I'll say.
Yeah, it's pretty elementary, I think.
Yeah.
And I laugh at it sometimes because I know it's a video game, but my entire objective when I play MLB The Show is get the starter out of here as quick, especially in the postseason. Get the starter out of here. Let me get to the bullpen where, every guy's got maybe 1-2 good pitches that they're not throwing. They don't have a repertoire like Chris Bassett where you've got to have, 2 pitch comms to be able to match all of his pitches. Get them out of there so I can eliminate 1 pitch at a time and go from there because it's a lot harder to hit guys like Chris Bassett, in my opinion, than it is when you can, especially the Blue Jays. I see what's the lefty's name? The lefty that plays oh my God. Not Ernie Clement.
On the Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Andres Jimenez?
No, younger guy. Addison Barger?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Last night, I'm watching him. I mean, Gilbert is throwing like 95, 96, but he goes down 0-2.
Yeah.
And he's just – I mean, it seems like he's swinging as the ball is like already past the strike zone.
Yeah.
And he's just fouling it off, getting that pitch count up, and they got to go to the bullpen early.
Yep. And let me ask you, Duncan, because, like my partner Tristan said, you've taken at-bats at a lot higher of a level than either me or Tristan has. Obviously, you're drafted to the Mets. You play baseball for the Tennessee Volunteers. I want to know, you said that a guy like Chris Bassett is harder to face because they have that 7 or 8 pitch mix. Yu Darvish also comes to mind. But is there what factors into that? What's the experience like taking that bat against a guy like that? How do you even go about guessing a pitch as opposed to a guy like Aroldis Chapman where it's coming, but you just can't stop it?
Yeah, great question. I think that predominantly the bullpen guys have one good pitch that, like, you look at Devin Williams, prime example. He's got that wicked changeup. So especially this year, we saw guys go up there and just foul the fastball off, and wait until he throws me that changeup, and leaves it a little bit hanging. So if you can get to the pin, I think what you're asking me is which one's harder, maybe.
Yeah.
I always think that no matter the velo, guys with 5-6 pitches, it's harder to hit off of because you got like a 10% chance, 20% chance of guessing correctly on any given pitch. And when you've got someone with 2, it's 50-50 every time, and you can use your brain to usually get there.
So with those guys who have 8, 9, some of them even 10 pitches, for God's sakes, how do you is there any strategy you can use to go about guessing what the pitch is going to be, or do you just have to guess?
So I think in the MLB, it's different in college and it's different in high school. In high school, I feel like you just kind of see ball, hit ball. But when you've got guys in the MLB that, like Chris Bassett, prime example, that can not only throw 10 pitches or whatever, he can put the pitches where he wants to induce a certain outcome. So I guess being able to, as the hitter, try to understand what he's trying to do to you. If there's a runner on first, 1 out, he's going to be going to that, lower half of the plate, try and sink the ball down and away, cut it outside and get you to hit it off the end of your bat or jam you up so they can turn a double play.
That's beautiful insight. That's why we have it.
So you got to think, really, Duncan, he's one step ahead of you. You got to be two steps ahead
Exactly.
of him in the sense that if I'm the pitcher, what would I throw? That's basically what you're saying, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 100%. You got bases loaded and 2 outs. I'm looking for two outcomes there. Or let's say second and third, 1 out. Only acceptable outcome for me as the pitcher is a pop up to the infield or a strikeout. That's it. I mean, you got to keep the runners where they're at. You can't, get a ground ball or a deep fly ball with 2 outs to get out of the inning. You've got to get it manageable and give your fielders a chance to keep those runners where they're at.
I don't mean to interrupt all this intelligent ball knowledge talk because that's just beautiful insight that you can't get anywhere else than the hitting cage and Duncan Pence. It's like a match made in heaven. It's like a long 25-year marriage, That's what this is between us and Duncan Pence here at the hitting cage. Shohei Ohtani, his slump has now extended to 1 for 21 with 10 strikeouts. And the Dodgers go down without producing a run in the first inning. And the Brewers wasted no time getting on the board, and Jackson Chourio sends the first pitch over the right field fence for a home run. They now go into the top of the second with the Brewers leading 1-0. That was also another exciting game last night. Saw the Brewers with a chance to walk it off against Blake Trinan and the Dodgers. But they couldn't get it done. And if anybody was watching the game, they know what happened. But let me break it down for the people that don't. They did not. Excuse me. So let me get the play-by-play going here. Goodness gracious. I feel like an amateur. I tuned in late. I will be honest, completely transparent with you. I tuned in a little bit late, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say I watched these final couple at-bats. And the Brewers worked some great counts towards the very end of that game. The situation goes like this. Bottom of the ninth, right? Brewers down 2-0. Started off the inning, the pop out, a walk, and then a ground rule double. Second and third. Jackson Chourio hits a pop. I would say it was a sac fly either way to center. That off the bat, you heard the Brewer faithful get loud, but no, that's a can of corn. But it's 2-1. Christian Yelich comes up. Intentional walk. Contreras comes up, works a fantastic at-bat. Fouling off stuff, gets the count to 3-2. He walks. And then the young kid Terrain comes up. Bases loaded. Very first pitch. Four-seam fastball, 94. Probably up in middle of the zone, around that area. Foul ball. Next pitch, a sweeper that barely clips the zone, but it's called for a ball. 1-1. Strike looking on a sweeper that dips in on the upper end part of the plate. And then another sweeper that completely misses. It's a waste pitch. Ball 3. Sorry, ball 2. It's the fourth pitch of the at-bat. Jesus. And we're talking at this pitch. We're looking at this pitch, the one that completely misses. It's a waste pitch. But he didn't mean to waste it as bad as he did, as he almost hits Terrain in the left-handed batter's box. And Terrain, just one of those. I think everyone in this chat, everyone watching this, just immediately, as soon as they see him step out and try to avoid that pitch, just goes. If it's the regular season, obviously, yes.
Hell, I mean, look, Tristan, yeah. I think even RG was shocked.
I can't believe he didn't wear it. You wear that pitch.
Look, partner, it's so easy for you to say you need to wear it, but then when you got a 90-mile-an-hour heater coming right at your elbow, what are you going to do?
These guys, Duncan can tell me
you're going to sit in there and hit and let the ball hit you?
You can tell me the pain difference from wearing 90 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour.
I know you, partner. No chance there's not a snowball's chance in hell you're standing in that box.
90 miles an hour hurts like a bitch. I'm not going to tell you and sit here I'd be able to wear that and just be like, all right, whatever, walk down to first. I've never been hit with 90. Hell, I've never even seen 90 come across my eyes. So I'm not going to argue that. But I'm not a major leaguer.
That's true. You're not getting paid $20 million.
There are people that wear 90 in the fucking cages because they're psychotic. Okay? You know what it is. This was an 85-mile-an-hour sweeper towards the back leg, and it was probably going to hit, I'd say, right in the fat of his calf.
But you don't think about that. You think when the ball's coming 85 miles an hour towards you, you think, oh, is this going to hit the fat or the ankle?
No, Jack. That's the problem. Why aren't you thinking about that in that situation? Your goal is to do whatever you can to get on.
No. You do not have time. You do not have time to think about, I wonder where this ball's going to land.
I'm sorry. I completely disagree. I think if I'm in that box in that situation, I'm looking to get hit. I mean, Duncan was telling us before he got on how many times he got in trouble for getting hit, and he didn't think he was doing it. Duncan, explain that story for us one more time.
Yeah, I fully agree with what you're saying, Tristan. Your job as a hitter, get on base. You have to. That's your primary objective. I certainly got in trouble. I think I was a little bit of a psychopath when I was hitting.
I can see it.
90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, doesn't matter. If I can just make it look like I'm trying to turn a little bit and it eats my elbow up, so be it. I'm going to first base. But to Jack's point of view there, I agree with that as well. Trying and throws hard, and it hurts. It hurts like a motherfucker. But I agree. I think that in the moment, he's like, oh, shit, it's coming at me. I'm getting out of the way. And I think that if he had that pitch over again, he's going to just wear it.
Here's what I'll say is I could see it on his face the minute it happened. I mean, everybody in the crowd was going like, listen, I know I want you to stay healthy. I don't want you to get hurt, but you got to think about wearing that. Because like I said, this is the postseason. Your mindset's completely different. It's flip things, put things into play, and hope some magic happens. It's like Duncan said, you get on however you so fucking choose.
Especially with the bases loaded. And
you know that there's 2 outs. I'm sorry. You are in his mind, he's already got 2 strikes. And we know he's a lefty. It's a lefty on righty matchup. So you're going to expect a ball in the dirt at some point, probably breaking towards you. I'm sorry. That is something you are thinking about going into this at-bat. That is the matchup that you want. Lefty-righty. Let me make sure I section off this part of the zone and say no to it. Everything is no. You know what? If it does come that way, I'm going to say no to it so much that I'm going to show him in the box I'm not scared of taking that fucking pitch.
Yep.
He moves. That's where I think he's rattled. Because if you look at the very next pitch, it's again another waste pitch, another bad pitch. And we know how bad the Dodgers bullpen has been so far in this playoffs. They actually got it done last night. Blake Treinen throws a fastball so high up and out of the zone. Durango swing because he's in his mind. Like, shit, man. I should be on first right now, and I'm fucking not. Now, I don't know that. I'm not Terang. I can't get in his head and tell you that that's exactly what he's thinking. But it'd be remiss of me. It'd be stupid of me not to tell you that that's what I saw. I saw a kid that was like, fuck, man. I fucked up. I gave my tell. I showed that I'm not here for the moment, man. I should have worn that shit. Who cares if everybody's like, oh, you're a pussy. You didn't hit the ball. I'm fucking on first, and the game is fucking tied. And then you see a waste pitch that's at your eyes.
So think about, in my mind, I've seen Blake Treinen throw a lot. His 2 nasty pitches are sinkers and slurves. As a lefty in that situation, I'm going full Anthony Rizzo mode. I'm getting as close to the plate as I can, and because what's he going to do? He's going to try and tunnel, and he's going to throw that slurve and start it on the inside part of the plate and have it break off just like he threw it there. I mean, that one was a little bit far off the plate, but still. Yeah. And then he'll pair that with that sinker that starts inside and then cuts right back to the plate. Yep. So my thought process as Terang there should be, I'm going to crowd the plate. I'm going to foul off that sinker inside and let him throw the slurve for balls. And eventually he's going to walk me. That would be my –
And he had it. He had it. That's what I was saying, Jad. And I'm happy to hear somebody who played ball at such a high level agree with me. That entire section of the zone, that bottom right part of the zone, that is no man's land to me until you can prove to me that you're throwing strikes down there. If I see a strike down there, okay, you know what? He's hitting that. Be prepared to just spoil it. I'm not looking to put that in play in any kind of meme because guess what? That's just a soft ground out to one of my middle infielders. That's what that is. So I'm just looking to foul that off if I ever see it. But you know what? He saw it. He saw it for a ball. It barely clipped the zone, but he saw it for a ball. So immediately what I say, I'm like, okay, so the umpire back here doesn't like that pitch. I don't like that pitch. X. Anything that I see break out, because it breaks out, fuck no. The thing is, and this is where I'll now counter my own point, it's Blake Trinan, man. He throws 2 pitches that look identical and then go 2 opposite fucking directions. So it's tough. I will agree with you, Jack. It's tough. I don't know how
the other thing, partner, is that look, it's all fun and games taking the pitch on right on the corner, and until you got 2 strikes, you got to protect the plate and a pitch an inch off the outside. Until we have automated ball strike or challenging balls and strikes, you cannot take that pitch. That's just with 2 strikes.
I 100% agree. But here's the thing: we're not in a situation where we're going to talk about taking that pitch. It was a ball all the way.
It was that pitch was a ball all the way.
So that's where I have an issue. You told yourself, fuck that bottom right quadrant of that plate. Fuck it. Fuck the bottom left. Fuck the inside part of that plate. Right down and in. Fuck that part of the plate. And you saw it going there. You still jumped out of the way. If anything, for me, like Duncan said, I'm Rizzoing that shit and just telling you, I'm not letting you pitch me inside. You can think that's going to back me off the plate all you want. Fuck no.
Because then his option there, if he can't find the zone with that sinker, his option is to go either try and sneak a 4-seam pass you up and out. That's a home run pitch. Yeah. Or try and backdoor that slurve and catch the outside part of the zone.
That's the only other option. Yeah, exactly.
I do want to ask.
The other option is to now throw it to the other side of the dish where you can see it a hell of a lot better.
I'd be punching myself later if I didn't ask Duncan, because a lot of the time you think about, the pitcher is his job is to get in the hitter's head and fuck with him so much to the point where he's swinging, at a pitch that he wouldn't hit with a rowing oar. But as a hitter, you were a hitter. How do you flip that on the pitcher and get in his head? What did you do to get in the pitcher's head?
I think Anthony Rizzo is the best example I can find about this, is just understanding what he's trying to do there, find that part of the zone that he's wanting to strike you out on, and just foul it off until he either walks you or, has to try and sneak something by you that he's not super confident with, and you can, do what Ohtani does, wait for that one mistake and knock it out.
Great insight.
See, this is the insight I'm missing when I have to talk with Tristan every week.
All right, well, fuck me, I guess. I am now interested. I want to get a move along as our clock starts ticking down here, because I also want to get into a little bit of free agent talk. I want to hear some predictions. Right now we have clear favorites, I'd say, in both we have a clear favorite in one series. The other series, I'm still really skeptical about. Jack, I did say to you earlier on, before the postseason started, when we were doing our projections, I know I picked the Phillies. I went against my own fucking word. I picked the Phillies. But I did say to you, when the Dodgers were left for dead, and you said there was no way that the Dodgers, they look too shaky. The Dodgers will show up when it matters most. And what are they doing right now? Showing up. That bullpen has looked like utter shit up until the postseason. You know what? They were still stumbling in the postseason too. What did they do? They got the job done last night. So that's what I say, is the Dodgers, they look shaky. They can fool you. Ohtani's in a 1-for-21 fucking slump, for Christ's sake. They are the Dodgers. They will figure it out no matter how it was. And you know what? I'll put it on myself. I went against my own fucking word, and I didn't trust my gut when I said, you know what? I know that they look like shit. Because when we were talking about this right in, I'd say, late August, early September, the Dodgers look like ass. But now, look at them. 3 games away from going to another World Series. So I just wanted to preface that and toot my own horn a little bit, even though I went against my own word. Of course you do.
You always like to toot your own horn. I know that.
Right there,
we know this. Duncan knows it too.
Pal. Right there, pal. And we'll start with Duncan. Who do you guys have in the World Series? Who is the World Series matchup, and who do you think the victor is?
Dodgers, Mariners. Dodgers win
it. It's unfortunate. I mean, you're a Yankees fan. I'm a Yankees fan. It's kind of boring. And I know this is only going to be their second one, but it'll officially erase that narrative of, if they don't win like 5 within these first couple of years with Ohtani, if you don't get there every year with Ohtani, on that contract, it's a fucking failure and everyone's laughing at you. Kind of like how the Mets not making it this year. Everyone's laughing at you. The fact that the Yankees can't be consistent, everyone's laughing at you. So the Dodgers are the one team, when you look at those three that I just named, that has that pressure and still step up to the plate and knock it out of the park each year. So it's hard to not pick the Dodgers because just based off of talent alone. I know, like I said, they have flaws, so many flaws in the game. They do.
Well, they're to the point.
Alone.
They're to the point with their roster construction that we see it with the Yankees every year. One guy, we all know who we're talking about here, goes silent, and the team struggles every single year. The Dodgers are at the point where, with their roster, Mookie and Freddie, hopefully not, but when Shohei goes on a slide like this, it's all right because they've got 6 other guys that can, produce. We just saw
Teoscar yesterday.
Teoscar just hit a home run here a second ago. Kike scored. They're a pretty deep lineup, and one guy goes silent, and they've got a lot of other bats in there.
Yeah, as he just mentioned, the Dodgers are now up 2-1 on the Brew Crew after a Teoscar Hernandez homer and a Pages double to right.
They're throwing the ball all over the field. Dodgers are
and that. Yeah, man. I'm looking at it now. I'm just doing a little recap on this game. It's hard not to pick the Dodgers, so I will have to second him. I'm going to have to say it's Mariners, Dodgers, and give me the Dodgers in 6. I think the Mariners are scrappy, but it's hard to just say with as many holes as the Dodgers have to say that the talent doesn't just show up. I mean, this Brewer club, you saw a lot of people step up in moments where it mattered, and I think that's what made the Brewers so special. When I see the Brewers and their lineup construction, their overall depth, I think 2017 Yankees. I see a team that wasn't necessarily ready for this thing, but they're here now, so they're not going to shy away from the challenge and are proving that they deserve to be there. The Brewers are a fantastic, fantastic team. And it's kind of like a bond. We win with the power of friendship kind of thing when I look at it. But they also do have talent. You look like Christian Yelich, Contreras. They have fantastic pitching. A young rookie who's shoving. They do. They have it. But these are the Dodgers.
Andrew Vaughn coming out of nowhere.
This is the Dodgers, man. That friendship ain't going to last you much longer than you see the face of villainy. So give me the Dodgers to win this series, especially if they can hang on to this game. Much like like the Mariners did, if they're able to steal both on the road, I think your World Series is set. You got Mariners, Dodgers, and give me the Dodgers in 6. Jack, save the graphic, Jack. We all know you fucking want to, you limp dick loser. You see, fuck you. Save the graphic, Jack. Piss everybody off.
Well, look, partner, I hate that I finally have to admit to myself that it's looking pretty unlikely for anyone in the National League beating the Dodgers. And I've said it from the start of the year, even as a delusional Giants fan, the best chance anyone has to beat the Dodgers is a team in their division, simply because of anything can happen in the divisional game. And I feel like with this National League, at this point, not anything can happen. It really is just the Dodgers. But I'm still going to have to pick the Milwaukee Brewers in 7 because my father, God, I love you, Dad, raised me better than to pick the Los Angeles Dodgers. So it's going to be the Milwaukee Brewers and the Seattle Mariners.
Shut up. Take the hat off for a second. Be a journalist for a fucking second. Who's your real pick?
Milwaukee in 7. The hat doesn't change what's in the mind, partner. It just covers the hair. That's all.
I think you're stupid.
I am stupid, but the Brewers are going to win in 7.
You know what? If they do, we have to have Jay King on. It's actually a kind of a crime that he wasn't here with Duncan, so we could get his honest reaction to every play, like you had me with the Yankees. That would have been.
We don't need more of that.
If that gets to 7, RG, I'm telling you right now, we're sliding another episode into our deal, and we're going to have our friend on who is a Brewers fan for his live reaction to some play.
We don't need more. We don't need more play-by-play.
Let's do like a live stream with them and just see.
We don't need more play-by-play from Rock Solid Sports alum. That
would be funny. You can't deny it though. As annoying as that guy is, as much as I love him, he's fucking annoying. That would be fun as shit to watch.
It would be pretty hilarious. I'm not going to lie.
Let's get into some free agency talk because I think everybody in this chat team is out. I don't think. I know. So we're going to do the one thing that Yankees fans do best and and start projecting. So who are some free agents that you guys have on the brain right at this moment? When I say free agent, who comes to your brain and what team is he going to? We'll start with you, Jack.
Oh, look, I mean, I think that there's a lot of good answers for this one. But for me, when I think free agent, there's two guys that come to mind. That's Pete Alonso and that's Kyle Tucker. And, there's not a lot of teams that need a first baseman. Actually, it's one of the more deep positions in baseball today, which is pretty unusual. Usually the corner infield is something that has really been a problem for a lot of teams, especially it's been a big hole in the lineup for a number of teams. But look, I think that these are the two guys that are the biggest names for sure. Where they'll go, we'll get into in a couple minutes. But Duncan, who do you got in terms of big free agents?
Yeah, definitely the first one, the Soto of this year is Kyle Tucker. As far as where he goes, I don't know. I think he's going to have a pretty hefty bidding war going for him. Pete Alonso is going to be another candidate for a bidding war. One that I kind of find interesting that's coming up, and I'm curious to see how his current club handles it, but Framber Valdez, pretty sure he's coming up this year. I'm not sure how confident the Astros are in continuing their string of success, really. I think that they've kind of fallen off. They've lost Springer, Correa. Well, Correa's back. But Springer, Bregman, Jordan seems to not be able to stay healthy anymore. Fromber didn't have a great year.
But he's got talent.
I think he's absolutely nasty. And I'm also, with Fromber, I'm kind of interested to see how I think it caused a lot of ruckus when it happened, but when he crossed up his against the Yankees, crossed up his catcher and on purpose, seemingly.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that'll scare a couple bidders off.
Yeah. I'm going to circle 3 on my list. I think Kyle Tucker you guys took that from me, so I'll pivot and go Kyle Schwarber. Very interested to see where he ends up. I could totally see him being a Philly for life. But, I mean, the Red Sox are also a threat to bring him back. Some people, for some reason, want him in pinstripes up in New York. I don't think that makes any sense to me because they already have 5 DHs in the
and with the defensive issues, he's not going to be a big help.
Exactly. I don't think that makes any sense. But anytime that you see a brief free agent, you'd be remiss not to mention the Yankees. Alex Bregman, another person that is very interesting to see what he does if he opts out, of course, of his deal, which I'm pretty sure he's going to. A lot of Red Sox fans, right after they got eliminated, seemed kind of worried that he's not. So, interested to see what Alex Bregman does. And then in the Japanese revolution of the MLB, Muntaka Murakami. That, to me, is the big one. I think we are all, if you're a ball lover, are familiar with Murakami in one way or another.
Don't remind me, MLB The Show 23. Oh, my God.
He's called in the WBC. He auditioned great in the WBC that year for Tokyo, for Japan. I think he's a little under the radar right now just because there's still ball going on. But come the end of the season, when the final pitch has been thrown, the final out's been made, everybody's going to turn their eyes to it. And I think – obviously, there's already 2-3 big names at the top of the bidding war. That's the Dodgers because they are heavy on pursuing Japanese talent and for the right reasons. The Yankees and then the Mets. The Mets, obviously, because they have the money. The Yankees because they used to love their Japanese stars. And the Dodgers because right now love their Japanese stars currently. The only thing is everybody says, God, guys, he's a Dodger. Can we just stop this conversation? We all know. They go in and get their guys. I mean, they've got the clubhouse people. I mean, they've got Ohtani. They've got Yamamoto. They've got Sasaki. They already have it. Like they have Murakami. I say not so fast, my friend. They're kind of good in the third base, first base department.
Yeah,
and I don't think they need a DH. So if you are a Dodger fan, the only reason you go get Murakami is because you don't want anybody else to have him. And don't get me wrong, There's no 100% factor that the fact that he's going to come over from Japan and produce in the MLB, that's not a given. Who knows? But I look at teams like the Yankees and the Mets that can make splashes. The Yankees need a corner infielder. Why not? Be a great addition to finally get that Japanese star that you've been elusive of these last couple of years, not being able to finally get it. Go win a goddamn bidding war for once if you're the Yankees. That's what I say. So I'll put Murakami at the top of that list. I don't know how free agency is going to look for the Yankees because there's been several reports. And this has been Yankee heavy topic. I don't really give a shit if you don't like it.
I don't.
It really just sounds like from John Heyman and a lot of other sources that their main thing is just bring Cody Bellinger back, and past that, it's been kind of quiet, which I don't hate. Everybody's thinking, wow, are you serious, man? These last couple of years, we've been swirling around the rumors, and we've been heavy in these conversations. And then look at the result. The result's been decent. The result last year was really good, but it wasn't an A+. And I think there's a reason for that because you showed your hand. I like what the Yankees are doing right now. The season's nowhere near over. You don't have to show your hand. Just dabble. Just put flies out where you can. People might not think you're interested in Murakami. Then all of a sudden you make a big splash and go get him. So I like how quiet it's been. I mean I'm pretty animate about the fact that the offseason is my favorite season. I love free agency. It's super fun, and to go to the winter meetings one day is one of my dreams. McCosh films. But this is going to be. It's a little bit more quiet than it was last year. I'd say some of the names, but if some people opt out, it could get really hectic really quick. And I mean, who's to say that you don't see a trade happening? I mean, people are already asking for Ben Rice. And Duncan, I'll tell you this right now so I don't have to text you. I'll take the McCosh hat off for a second. The only reason that I'm listening to the Pirates for a Ben Rice is if a certain man named Skeens is involved. And that's all I'll say on that. Because Ben Rice looks like he might be a generational talent if he can figure out how to hit lefties.
Super interested in the fact that reportedly the Yankees were the only team that seriously checked in on Skeens at the deadline. I just can't.
I don't think you need him, but I mean, imagine a rotation of Cole, Skeens, Fried, Rodon, Schlittler.
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure off the bats. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, really does. And then it gives you the freedom to do whatever you want bullpen wise. And if that was your objective, then I can see why you're only wanting to bring back Cody Bellinger offensively, and that's your done deal. But I think, as great as it would be to have Skeens, you have to think about exploring the fact that you need to put pressure on your shortstop. You need to think about, Jazz in the long term. I said that I would love to see the Yankees go get Ketel Marte. I don't think that's going to happen. But you got to put pressure on the shortstop position. You got to put pressure on your catchers. JT Realmuto would be a great get for the Yankees. Start putting pressure on these kids that, hey, you're here. These are veterans to lead you. Start doing it now. We talked about Trent Grisham earlier in the year. Jack, I think after that postseason, like I said, I think he's going to be putting on a different hat. And all I saw was zeros drop off the end of his contract, unfortunately. So, but
I'm with you, partner. And I think the one thing I'll touch before we wrap is about free agency is Alex Bregman. I think he will opt out of his contract option just to get as much as possible, but I think he will return to the Red Sox. The sole reason being, if the Red Sox put Bregman at third, pissed off Raffy Devers, shipped him off to the Giants for peanuts because they had Bregman at third, that pissed off Devers. So they get rid of Devers, who's their franchise guy. And then they lose Bregman.
Yeah.
God, could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Especially with when you have a young kid in Roman Anthony that you know is going to be able to perform. He looks great.
So they're going to say, Alex Bregman, blank check. Whatever anyone else offered you, add $50 million. That's what they're going to do. And
we know the Red Sox have been kind of inept when it comes to signing top-tier free agents.
But they're going to be hosed in 10 years when Alex Bregman's 41 and they're paying him $48 million.
Yeah. Duncan, any final thoughts?
Nope. Love it as always. I will be on here anytime you guys want me to be here.
Yeah. Doors
And,
always open.
we'll turn the camera on.
Jack, you know what we have to bring
Maybe
back? We've got to bring back our rating system. We had a guest. But we had a guest. If I'm not mistaken, I think we had him at a 94 and him at a 95 from you. I'm going to give him a diamond again, and I'm going to put him at a 98 for Mr. Duncan Pence today.
I think it's incredibly reasonable to do so. I'm also going to go 98 just because of the insight we got.
Yeah.
And this is not a moments card.
This is in the box.
Yes. This is a postseason card.
Yeah.
98 overall.
Roman's postseason card. Okay.
125 contact power. I think look, the insight that we got is something that our listeners will love and we love hearing because me and Tristan can't relate. We can't relate to that kind of stuff. We don't know what goes into actually taking ABs against guys like Garrett Crochet in batting practice. So the insight is so great to have from you. So Duncan, we really appreciate you coming on. And
you're not going to get that anywhere else. You're not. So subscribe, damn it. Hit the follow everything McCosh Films. Follow everything Hitting Cage. Follow everything 88 Keys Management. Shout out our producers. Grayson RG. Holding it down. In the cut. What?
Please never do that again.
Huge thanks.
Please never do that again.
He just loves to shit on me.
And shout out to our on-site producer, Jason Hensley.
Yes. I could not be remiss than to thank Jason for all he does. Editing these must be some sort of a bitch, but love him. Thank you, Duncan, for hopping on in here. You know the door's always open, brother. Love you. Congrats again, the baby. I couldn't imagine. I wish you the best of luck going forward, man. That is a bundle of joy.
It is.
For you, man.
It's
very happy.
It's amazing. It's mellowed me out a lot. But
now, what keeps you up more at night, the baby or the Yankees playoff loss to the Blue Jays?
Yankees playoffs loss a million times more because I'll tell you, since week 3, my little lady here sleeps from like 11:30 to 7, so we're doing just fine.
Oh, that's great.
That's a lot better than I was.
Yeah,
right.
she's been great.
All right, well, party people, from Duncan Pence, from Jack Glennon, we want to thank you guys for watching again. Make sure, again, you check us all out on socials. Make sure you're subscribed here to McCosh Films. Make sure you're checking everything out, 88 Keys Management, with our lovely producer, RG, in the cut. Make sure you guys are following us on all socials. Go ahead and follow Duncan. Duncan, what's your handle on Instagram? Shout it out real quick.
Instagram, let's see. Unfortunately, I don't know. It is Pence_Duncan.
There you go. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you follow Jack if you so choose. I don't know why you would think about doing that. But, yeah,
okay.
Keep up to date with all of us. We have very exciting baseball still going on. World Series is coming up and free agency. So there's still a lot more to go here as the season winds down. But, man, what's that one thing? Nah, I'm not even going to do it. Stay funky! Stay fresh! And by golly gosh darn it, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!
Aye, that's a good one.